I get it. You've been scrolling through a sea of gaming laptops, and every headline screams ultimate power while the price tags make you hesitate. You're probably wondering if you'll end up with a beast that actually fits on your desk, lasts through marathon sessions, and doesn't break the bank the moment you turn it on. I was in the same spot last month, comparing a handful of high-end rigs before I finally settled on something that felt right for my own needs. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. When you're picking a gaming laptop, the first thing to think about is how it will sit in your daily routine, not just how it looks on a spec sheet. A 16-inch screen with a 165Hz refresh rate sounds amazing for shooters, but if the machine gets too hot in a cramped apartment or the battery dies before you finish a single level, that excitement evaporates fast. I've tried a few laptops that promised no throttling only to watch frame rates dip once the fans kicked in, and that's the exact scenario I wanted to avoid this time. The ROG Strix G16 tries to solve those hidden trade-offs with a combination of a new AMD Ryzen 98940HX, an RTX 5070 Ti, and a cooling system that claims to stay cool under pressure. The question is whether those claims translate to real-world comfort when you're juggling games, streaming, and maybe a bit of content creation. Starting with the heart of the machine, the Ryzen 98940HX is a 16-core powerhouse that, on paper, should handle anything from Cyberpunk 2077 at ultra settings to video rendering in Premiere without breaking a sweat. In practice, I ran a couple of recent titles, Elden Ring and Horizon Zero Dawn, at 1080p high/ultra presets, and the frame rates hovered comfortably in the 7090 frames per second window, even when I pushed the settings to max. The extra cores also meant my background streaming software didn't steal performance from the game, something I've missed on older laptops where the stream would lag whenever the game demanded more resources. The RTX 5070 Ti, with its 12GB of GDDR7 memory, delivered crisp textures and smooth ray-traced lighting. What surprised me was how well it handled DLSS 3, keeping the visual fidelity high while still giving me a nice performance headroom. For a 16-inch chassis, that GPU is unusually generous. Many competitors would settle for a 5060 class chip at this price point. The 16-inch FHD panel, running at 165Hz, is where the experience feels most immediate. The higher refresh rate made a tangible difference in fast-paced shooters. My aiming felt more stable, and the motion blur was noticeably lower compared to the 144Hz panels I've used before. Color accuracy is decent out of the box. It's not a calibrated creator monitor, but the vibrancy is enough for gaming and watching movies. One practical thing I noticed: the thin bezels let me set up a dual-screen workstation with a portable monitor without the laptops feeling cramped, which is a nice bonus if you switch between gaming and a spreadsheet during the day. Now, the cooling system is the unsung hero of this machine. ASUS equipped the Strix G16 with multiple heat pipes and a larger vapor chamber than you'd expect on a laptop this thin. During a 2-hour gaming session, the fans spun up loudly at first but settled into a steady, low-buzz hum once the system hit its thermal ceiling. The temperatures stayed in the mid-70s Celsius range on the CPU and low 80s on the GPU, well within safe limits. That meant no sudden throttling, no heat throttling warnings, and no need to pause and let the laptop cool down. For people who game in small apartments or share a desk with a roommate, that relatively quiet operation is a real win. On the storage side, the 1TB SSD provides fast load times. I saw game launch screens appear in under 3 seconds, and level transitions were buttery smooth. The 16GB of RAM is a sweet spot for most modern games, but if you plan on running heavy virtual machines or multiple demanding apps simultaneously, you might feel the pinch after a while. Upgrading the RAM isn't a nightmare. It's accessible via a side panel, but it does add to the overall cost. So, who should actually buy this laptop? If you're a serious gamer who wants a portable machine capable of handling the latest titles at high settings, and you also dabble in streaming or light content creation, the Strix G16 hits a lot of marks. The combination of a high core count CPU and a top-tier GPU means you won't be forced to downgrade graphics settings just to keep up with a demanding encoder. It's also a solid pick for esports enthusiasts who thrive on high refresh rates. The 165Hz screen gives you that edge without needing to connect to an external monitor. On the flip side, if you're primarily looking for a budget-friendly gaming laptop, or you only play older or less demanding games, you'll likely find the price a bit steep for the performance you actually need. Likewise, if you need a laptop that can double as a full-time workstation for